Hi everyone, my name is Fay and I'm the Life Science Manager here at Reptile Encounters, and this is Rhianne. She is our zookeeper here at Reptile Encounters, and today we're going to be talking about some of our animals' diets, which is going to be really fun and interesting because we have a few of them here with us and you can see them eating their yummy food. Before we get started, we just had a bird take off on us, so we may have to go and get him. Working with animals, right? So what we'll do is I'll just go over a few things while we're waiting for people to join us. So make sure that you're following our Facebook group, our Facebook page, and liking it and sharing it with your friends if you see a fun video that we've made and you think other people will enjoy it. Also have a look at our YouTube channel. We are putting some interesting content up on there shortly, and we got someone who might be catching our birdie for us. And also make sure you have a look at our website too. We've got some interesting things going on in there. So what we'll do is we'll get started with our first animal. Since one of them has taken off on us, we have an assistant who is going to try and catch him for us. So we're going to talk about a long-nosed pottery. So why don't we get out? I'm going to turn you guys around so that you can see Rhianne.
Alright, Dave.
We've got Dave here with us. Hi guys. Hi James. Hi Debbie. Hi Shimon. Hi Shanice. So we have Dave here, and we're going to talk a little bit about Dave and his diet. So in the wild, do you want to have a little chat about what potteroos eat in the wild?
So Dave has a very long nose and some very nice little front claws. And these give us a really good hint as to what he likes to eat in the wild. So these are structural features that tell us that he likes to dig for his food in the wild. Now, he uses that long nose to sniff out everything underground, and then he uses those nice long claws to dig them up. And that means that he likes to eat a lot of root veg, things like that. But long-nosed potteroos are potentially our most expensive animals in the foods that they like. They really love mushrooms, so they specifically love the truffles, the ones that grow underground, and therefore are really expensive because they're quite hard to come across in the wild. But he's really good at finding them.
Yeah, so let's put Dave down. We'll take the knife away so Dave can have a little look at what we've got here on the table. So we'll have a little look at what we've got planned out for us. So Dave's having some of our Carnival mix here, which is just crushed up insects basically. Next we have some almonds and sultanas, which Dave also loves. As you can see, he's having a little bit of a crunch on an almond there. We've got some potatoes, some other root vegetables, and other variety of vegetables, and here we have some fruit. We'll talk a little bit about what Dave's favourite foods are in a second. We've also got some delicious fly pupae here, soldier fly pupae. We've also got some different kinds of seeds, some supplements, and a little bit of a veg mix. Now these things here that we've got on the table are for two different species. So we also have another animal here. So I will pass him over to Rhianne. Thank you, Cara, for rescuing Quilla, who went on a little bit of a trip. We might need an animal handler here to make sure Dave does not fall off the table. So this is Quilla, and he is one of our male collector's parrots. Dave is enjoying himself right now. So tell us a little bit about our eclectus parrots, Rhianne.
So eclectus parrots are a really cool species because up until probably the early 20th century, they were believed to be two different species. The males and the females, that is. The females are bright red and the males are a lovely green color. So our eclectus parrots are a rainforest animal, and they live right up in the very northern parts of Australia. And being a rainforest animal, there's lots of fruits always available for them, so they absolutely love eating a lot of fruit. So we have some apples here for them, we have some pears, we have some stone fruits.
Sorry, I'm just panning over to Dave because he's being very cheeky right now.
He's being extremely cheeky. He has knocked over our seeds and he is now raiding the almonds. There's a whole lot of stuff he's at.
Let's have a look quickly. Sorry, Rhianne, we're going to interrupt with a little Dave interlude here as Dave makes his way along to the other side. We might put Dave in his box or get Cara to... Yes. We might get Cara to put him in a pouch quickly so that he doesn't fall off our table here while we're talking about our collectors. So carry on, Rhianne.
Yeah, so on top of the fruits that they love to eat, they also love to eat the seeds that cover, or the fruits are covering. So in this bowl we have a whole load of sunflower seeds. This is large parrot mix, so it's full of slightly larger seeds that our largest species of parrots will eat. So sunflower seeds, things like that, whereas we have a small parrot mix which is much more like the grass seeds kind of things to replicate small seeds.
Awesome.
Now, yeah, so we have a whole lot of seeds and almonds for our birds that they absolutely love.
So let's talk a little bit about the other things that we give our birds, because they do get quite a big variety of different foods to keep them nice and healthy. So we do have pellets that we feed them. This brand I think is Kaylee, and it's the Paradise pellet, so that's specifically made for our fruit eating birds. So somebody like little Quilla here would be eating the Paradise pellets. Now we don't only feed these guys pellets and seeds. The reason for that is that would be lacking so much in their diet that they would get naturally. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what else we feed these guys, Rhianne?
All right. So one of the things that we love feeding our birds, and this is not just our eclectus parrots, but all of our large birds, is what we call bird chop, and it's not chopped up birds. It's a nice big mix of veggies. Now, usually we like to try to put more veggies in these, but being trying times, veggies are a little bit limited, so we're doing our best to give them a whole lot of different variety. So we like to give them some leafy greens in here, and we give them all of our really, really good colourful foods. So capsicums, to give them all the nutrients in them. We'll mix in some zucchinis, we mix in a whole lot of sprouted like chickpeas and beans and things like that. And that helps to unlock the nutrients as soon as those chickpeas and things like that are sprouted. All of this nutrients is now available for them. So we will pile them all up in a nice big bowl of water, leave them overnight to soak, drain them, and let them sprout. And so we make our own sprouts here, but you can buy them, you know, at Coles and things like that. So you probably know what we're talking about when we're talking about that. And we'll mix that all into this bird chop as well. And
we add a few different things to the mix as well. Sometimes we'll add in some almonds that we'll blend up.
Yep.
Other times we'll put in a little bit of some raw pasta or brown rice and things like that for a little bit of extra carbohydrates for these guys. And that just gives them a little bit something different. We also try and keep it nice and colourful because birds just love colourful food and they always tend to go for really bright colours. Like they do love the peppers. I know my little bird at home absolutely loves red and yellow peppers, and he'll go for that over everything else.
Yeah, definitely. And then because these birds, as we were saying earlier, love fruits and all of the seeds that come inside the fruits, we like to give them as much of a variety of fruit as possible. So we are really lucky. We get a lot of seasonal fruits. Apples and pears are currently in season at the moment. And we like to try to give apples and pears to most of our animals because it makes them work those jaw muscles because it's a bit tougher. But we also are really lucky to be getting like full watermelons at the moment. So everybody loves watermelon here, and it's just as well because we've had a lot of it. But we'll also give them some stone fruits with the stone removed. So at the moment I have a plum, some apples and some pears, and I have started my bird food for these guys. So they are getting a bit more of a generous serving at the moment because we usually weigh this out and make sure everything is perfect. They get a very specific amount of food each day, and that helps keep our birds really healthy, and we know exactly what they're getting every single day. So we'll see. He might want it, he might not.
He is enjoying his most favorite treat right now, which is sunflower seeds.
He is making his way through them so well.
Typically we would not give this many seeds to our birds, but because he's doing a fantastic job being on camera, he is getting a little bit of an extra treat today. Giving your birds too many nuts and seeds in their diet can actually be really bad for them, because they've got a lot of good fats in them, but too much of a good thing can sometimes be a bad thing. So we want to make sure that they've got a lot of different nutrients going in, and a lot of fresh foods as well. So we have a question from Christina. Why do we remove the seeds from the stone fruit? Do you know the answer to that, Rhianne?
Well, obviously they're likely to eat around it anyway, because in the wild they would, come across stone fruits, and they'll only eat the bits that they really like. But our birds are captive, so they might not make that correct decision. They might not have learnt how not to eat the bits that you're not meant to. So if we keep it out, they won't swallow it.
Yeah. So the stones in some of the stone fruit, they do have a little seed inside the stones. So I don't know if we have an example here, but oh, here we go. Here's a stone. There's actually a little seed inside this stone, and that seed is actually toxic. So it's toxic to us, and it's toxic to animals. So that is the reason why it's not gonna. You're not gonna get it open.
Not with this knife.
So we don't want to see you cut your finger on camera.
No.
So that's the reason why we do remove them, and they're parrots, so they do love to break open those seeds or those nuts, rather, that also have the shell on them. So we do give them the almonds with the shells on, just so that they've got something to break into, which they do love to do. So Quilla seems pretty happy here. So what we might do is talk a little bit about Dave's diet. We might get Dave back out again. We might get Quilla moved off the table so he can enjoy some seeds in the background quickly. So what we'll do is Cara will give good old Dave over to Rhianne. Dave's ready to go. You ready to go, buddy? Yes. All right. So if Quilla can go and hang out maybe over here, and he can sit on the ground and eat his little seeds, he'll be a happy guy.
Dave, is it a bit cold for you today, bud? Hey, off to bed?
So these guys... Oh, Quilla's not happy about getting to move. That's a good boy. Off you go. Good job. So we've talked about what potoroos eat in the wild. So let's have a little talk about how we mimic that in captivity.
Yes, so in captivity we obviously, at Reptile Encounters we go through a lot of fruit and veg every single week. It's something like 14 kilos of fruit, and that's just apples and pears alone. So there's probably another 4 kilos of mixed fruit on top of that. Root veg we go through about 4 to 8 kilos every single week, and that is because we have quite the number of macropods that absolutely love root veg and mushrooms and veggies.
Oh, yes.
So again, with the color, we go for color because color has a lot of nutrition involved in it. So all of the stuff that you get in red foods and orange foods are quite a rare nutrition in the wild, so they're actually really, really healthy for our animals to eat. And then with the root veg, because they are a digging animal to get food, we like to mimic that by giving them some root veg. Now, the bulk of Dave's diet is actually mushrooms to mimic that truffle food that they love. It's not exactly the most expensive versions of the mushrooms, but they absolutely love it. He probably won't take it out of my hand though, because he'll probably just want to show me up and pretend that he doesn't like it.
No, he'd much rather have his favorite food. So why don't we have a little talk about Dave's favorite foods while we have him down here on the table. Why don't we give you some of your... Oh, I think he has chosen. Oh, maybe you'll have some corn. So Dave normally does love almonds, and he will normally go for almonds before everything else. What else do you think Dave loves to eat? We always have a fun when we have these fruits come in, because Dave absolutely loves them.
Do. So, another thing that poulterers are known for is while they're running around in the undergrowth, they often come across some rotting fruits. And one of Dave's absolute favorite fruits are bananas. So we have some. He gets bananas as a treat. So he gets them every couple of days. Couple each week. So he has had quite a few recently.
You're having some.
He's gonna have
you're gonna have some of Quilla's food. That's okay. There's nothing in there that can hurt him, and it's probably all very good for him as well.
Yeah.
So he can have a little bit of what Quilla has been eating.
Well, while he's nibbling on that, I'm gonna quickly get his food together. So, what we like to do for our long-nosed poulterers is give them a nice mix of veggies. So I have some capsicum and zucchini here, and I'm going to throw in some of the green capsicum as well, just to keep that variety of foods going. And every single day they also get some chopped up apples as part of their diet. So I'm going to give him some of these apples that we chopped up for Quilla, and he can have that. And corn. Corn is one of the other things that they absolutely love. As you saw, he did go for it earlier on. These guys haven't had much corn recently, but they absolutely love their corn because it's nice and sweet.
Who wouldn't want a nice sweet treat?
Let's get these mushrooms in.
So we add a few supplements into these guys' diets as well. So you may have seen Dave having a little bit of this...
or standing in it.
Or making a mess, that's fine. Or you're going to have some of the bird food. Or whoop,
he is
where are you off
really
to,
trying
bud?
a bit of everything. Hey, buddy.
So if he doesn't destroy all our ingredients too much... No, that's the end of the table, buddy. You've got to stay this side. Pop him in a pouch to make sure he's nice and safe while we're talking about all the ingredients. So... we do have a few supplements that we give Dave. So as I was talking about before, where did that one go?
Sorry.
Here we go. So we've got this Carnival mix, which we get from Wambaroo, which is just crushed up insects basically. We've got our soldier fly pupae, which mimics them being able to find those invertebrates that they're digging up in the soil. So they'd eat a few of those while they were digging up roots and mushrooms and tubers in the wild. We also have a few extra supplements here. So we have a protein supplement, and we also do include a calcium supplement in our macropods diets. That's just so that they get a little bit of extra stuff that obviously in captivity they're not able to get from certain foods. So we do add that in there for them as well. And of course almonds and sultanas, because that's a little treat that they can get every day. And whenever we go into the enclosure, we normally hand it over to them so that they know that we love them and they get a little treat for being good and doing what what we like them to do. So not being naughty, but it seems like Dave has been woken up a little bit early today and is feeling a little bit sleepy.
Sleeping on the couch, that complete devil on the table.
Oh yes. He'd much rather explore the table than sit in his pouch, but obviously he's feeling nice and comfy in his pouch.
Yeah.
So guys, I think that we'll leave it there. I hope you really enjoyed our little snippet of what we feed some of our animals here at Reptile Encounters. And enjoying, of course, Dave's table rampage, which always is lots of fun here at Reptile Encounters. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next stream.
Bye.
Bye, guys.